everyone. Thanks for joining us. This is episode 22 of the Canadian Geekcast. Today, I am joined by Steph.
Hello, everyone, once again.
And Steve is returning to us.
It feels like I've been gone so long. Miss you guys.
It does. And announcing the man, the myth, the legend. He loves pineapple on everything. It is Dennis, the longest-running regular host.
And that's undisputed. That's undisputed.
Yes, for now, anyways.
I don't know.
21 episodes.
22 episodes, yeah.
Yeah, and plus all the E3 stuff we did as well. I didn't miss those.
Well,
either.
I'm not including those because I think there was a few that you weren't.
No, he was.
There?
No,
or
he
were
was
you
part
in
of
every single one?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, so you're the longest. Full stop.
Yeah.
On every Canadian Geekcast episode. Wow.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
Maybe I just have nothing going on Sunday, so I just... yeah.
Might change when you go back to school.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it must be
don't
nice being a
remind
student.
me.
Wait until you become an adult and join the real world.
You know, I'm 26. I'm already technically an adult, so...
Well, each week we like to get together to discuss everything from the latest video game news to film and TV and anything really geeky that kind of catches our interest. We're available pretty much everywhere as long as I remember to upload the episode. You can find us on YouTube, Spotify, iTunes, Google, pretty much everywhere. If you like what you hear, please leave us a review somewhere. You can also send us an email to CanadianGeekCST@gmail.com. or our Twitter account, which is at Canadian Geek CST, and we may even read them on the next show. So, you notice Josh is missing from this one again. He's taking his wife on a shopping date.
What a nice guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Happy wife, happy life.
Yeah.
That's the saying.
Yeah. So we are short one more member. We'll eventually have a reunion episode where all five of us are on.
Eventually.
Won't be next week.
Nope.
No? Are you gone next week?
Yeah, I'll be camping in the woods.
Yeah.
Oh, the two of you are gone.
Yeah, I'm at Fan Expo.
Oh, that's right.
Keep an eye out for there's a lady who walks around with a violin and she plays theme songs of different cosplayers.
Okay. I'll keep
an eye out for her. I've seen there's a couple YouTube videos she's done. And some people are kind of like kind of scared and standoffish, and others will just start dancing and really like it. It's
awesome.
Good.
I've never seen her.
Yeah.
I go like every year, and I don't think I've ever seen her.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
I've not seen the violin one, but I have seen someone playing an ocarina. The exact same thing.
I think I've seen that person. Yeah.
Yeah.
See, that's awesome. Being able to having that kind of talent.
Yeah, we'll never know.
No.
No, that's true. All right, so before we start this episode, we have a question of the week, and I'm going to hand this one over to Steve to kick us off.
So, my question for you guys is, in your opinion, what is the most important movie to have released? Like, that could be most influential to, society, or most important to film itself. In your opinion, what is the most important film?
Star Wars, probably.
Okay.
Just because, reading about how much difficulty it had to even get taken up by anybody to be made into a movie and then to be published, I think it just really showed a different direction for movies and storytelling, and even how to make movies.
Mm-hmm.
I think it just really revolutionized movie making and movies for many, many, many years and decades to come. I don't know if we'd be having movies like Avatar, and really, there's a whole bunch of things that you could really just look back and be like, I don't know if this would have worked without the original keystone of Star Wars.
Solid one. Matt, Dennis, do you have one off the top of your head?
I got one.
Okay.
I was Star Wars was the first one that came to mind, but another one came to mind was Jaws, because that movie set up the movie rating, and it's something that's stands for all movies that they have a rating, and it's just started this the content of movies changed from that movie, and looking at They're very violent movies, and then just like it turned the what is a PG movie and whatnot. I kind of like that movie just to because it started that conversation of what is a rating like for video games and the ESRB as well with Mortal Kombat.
Matt, you still thinking?
Yeah, it's only 8 o'clock in the morning for me.
Okay. So the reason I wanted to ask this question is because in Toronto right now, they're doing a re-showing or a re-release of 2001: A Space Odyssey. And got me thinking back to that movie, and I really love that movie to begin with, but I was thinking about how influential that was to today's like tech. I think it made a lot of great calls in terms of like what AI could be, what space travel could be. For a movie that came out, I believe it was in the 70s?
2001?
Yeah.
No.
Been great if it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it had really great foresight into what technology could become. I mean, you look at Back to the Future Part 2, and they were way off in terms of technology. But 2001 seemed to really, I guess, influence what tech could be.
For me, it's really funny because things like you see the flip communicators in Star Trek.
Oh, yeah.
Long before we had flip phones in reality. And then video calling and Pokemon long before we had FaceTime. It's funny how, and you always see those like articles about how Simpsons predicted this, that, or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's fascinating.
Well, to your point, there's a lot of, and I think there's a couple documentaries and there's a lot of actual tech that we have now that was inspired by Star Trek and like flip phones is one of those big things. Even tablet computers, they walk around with the pad and stuff like that. There's a lot that we have now because of what was seen in the Star Trek series. But I think Alien probably be one of those like even for like the whole strong female protagonist role that that was there and like even the tech used for the special effects and everything and the story, the whole thing I think is fairly influential. I mean, you'll even find countless references to it throughout, or like pop culture references throughout film and TV now. Even Reboot made reference to aliens.
Yeah.
With the giant mech, or like it's not really a mech. It was more of just like a warehouse, like a walking forklift.
Oh, sure.
Oh yeah.
Stuff like that. Like it's, So I think Alien is definitely up there.
Can I also give an honorable mention to the original Ghost in the Shell, which inspired the likes of The Matrix and probably a lot of things like. I mean, not necessarily, but maybe offhandedly things like the new Cyberpunk 2077.
Yeah.
And I know the Ghost in the Shell, it took a lot of inspiration from like some really, really old novels and stuff as well. But I think it was the first one to make a visual kind of masterpiece. And yeah, like I think if you didn't have the original Ghost in the Shell, you wouldn't have the Matrix.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah,
that's
quite possible.
Why don't you, listeners, chime in on our Twitter with what film you feel is most influential, and we'll kind of pick. I don't know. I guess we'll pick a random answer, and you can select a game from our massive list of game codes that we've got. So just chime in on our Twitter, and let us know your thoughts. And with that out of the way, let's dive into this episode.
Good people who have traveled from villages near and far, lend me your ears.
All right, our first topic. This one is all Steve. Just recently was the Rocket League Canadian Challenge. If I got that right.
Yeah,
Dennis wrote the script, so if it's wrong, we'll blame him.
No, I fixed it.
Oh, okay. So Steve, why don't you kind of tell us a little bit about this and kind of talk about this one.
Sure. So before I even begin, this event was hosted by World Gaming. I think just for transparency's sake, I am part of the content creator side of things, not necessarily involved with event planning or anything like that, but just so everyone knows, to take what I say with a grain of salt, because I am part of the company on the content side. However, last Sunday, as of recording this, the Canadian Challenge for Rocket League was hosted. So basically, 8 of the qualifying Rocket League teams came to Toronto and played at the Scotiabank Theatre for what was almost 7 hours of constant Rocket League. They were basically playing for the National Finals Championship title and $10,000. The interesting thing about this is that because it's hosted by World Gaming, it's not affiliated with like the Rocket League Rival Series or the Championship Series. So it's kind of a great platform for up-and-coming Rocket League pro level players to get their name out. I know I spoke to a lot of the teams before the finals, and I would say 80% of them had never played on a stage before, never played like an online or like a LAN before. So it was really cool to see these kids, I'm gonna call them kids because they really were kids, compete in front of people. There was a live stream as well, so people who weren't at the Scotiabank Theatre could watch the whole event play out. Yeah, it was great. It was a great time. The team called Croissant Boys, they ended up winning the whole thing. It was really great. Another honorable mention was for Him Tortons.
That's good.
Right?
Yep.
The best part about Him Torrens was hearing the casters flub their name over and over again.
I can imagine.
Yeah. I can imagine that would happen.
It got really. You could tell that at a certain point it started getting frustrating for them trying to sound it out. Like they would call them either just Tortons or just completely butcher it and call them Tim Hortons. So It was really cool because I guess Tim Hortons got some ad time out of it.
Free advertisement.
Yeah, exactly. But otherwise, I mean, did you guys have like any like questions about it? Because I thought yeah, okay, go ahead.
I'd be curious to know like the numbers, because to me, esports is such a foreign world to me. Just don't watch it, don't have much of the interest in it, but I do know that they're trying to bring an esports arena to Toronto. Or was it Vancouver? It was Vancouver.
Vancouver just announced that they're getting their first dedicated esports arena. It's more like a little venue.
Yeah, and then like we've got Meltdown Esports Bar locally here in Toronto.
Yep.
So I'd be kind of curious to see some of the numbers, because that's just something that's interesting to me.
100%. I think take what I say with a grain of salt. I think what World Gaming is doing is really awesome because it's under the banner of Cineplex. It's held at Cineplex locations, especially in Toronto. It's one of the biggest theaters in the city. I think them having that platform really helps bring people in. I know, for instance, I don't know the numbers on the actual live stream, but the auditorium the Canadian Challenge was held in was pretty much packed for the better part of the day. I mean, it was a general admission ticket. You get in for, I think, like $15, $20 or something, and you can stay all day for the 7 hours or whatnot. I am very curious to see how Toronto can expand on esports. I had a piece up earlier this year saying that Rocket League is, for all intents and purposes, the best way to introduce people to esports. It's a pretty easy game to understand. You can just watch it, and it's cars just hitting a soccer ball into a goal. If you've ever watched a soccer game or hockey or anything, it's really easy to understand. And for this purpose, during the Canadian Challenge, I actually invited my girlfriend to come to the event. For one, because I just didn't want to sit there by myself for 7 hours. But also, I didn't explain anything to her about how an esports tournament works. She's never been to one. This was her first exposure to esports. And although she has seen Rocket League played by me, by other people, she understood how brackets work, what the commentators were doing, what the casters were doing each moment. And for 7 hours, her not being that much of a video game fan, her attention was caught the entire time. So I really do think that as esports continues to evolve and grow, I think it's really important that we find these games like Rocket League that are really easy to expose people to. A game like League of Legends, Dota, even Overwatch, they're really hard to show someone and kind of let them take it away from there. You have to actually explain the game to them as they're watching it, or set them up with like a sheet this long, and show them the rules, the regulations, everything with that. It's really intimidating. But I think Rocket League has that special sauce to just get people involved.
Yeah, for sure. Because like Rocket League has arguably way less rules than an actual soccer game.
Yeah.
Like honestly, it's so accessible. Like I tried to learn baseball like a month ago? Yeah. And there's more rules in that than a lot of esports games, or about comparable, really. It's just all these like technicalities in the background where you can just sit back and watch a guy hit the ball, but you don't understand the whole intricacy of the game. And I think those different layers definitely work in esports too. But breaking that boundary for some people is like very tough, for them to be like, oh, in this you need physical and all these like, all these other skills, and then they see someone in a video game, it's still not really accepted as like a skill.
Right.
If that makes sense.
No, absolutely.
Yeah, it was interesting trying to hearing all these people talk about like, oh, what's these video games doing on my sports channel?
Yeah, I remember seeing that when the Overwatch League finals aired on ESPN on a Friday night, people lost their mind over it. They're like, why am I watching a video game on ESPN on a Friday? This shouldn't be there and everything. And, I don't necessarily think that pushing esports on broadcast television is the right way to go. I think it belongs either in a live setting or on a live stream on Twitch or something like that. That's probably the best way to do it. But exposure, ad revenue, that sort of thing all have to go into it.
So what were the age ranges? I know you were talking about them being kids. So what were the age ranges of
So
the competitors?
some of the teams had people from 15, I think, all the way up to early 20s, something like that. So yeah, a lot of the people who were up on that stage were very, very young. As esports continues to evolve, it's really important that the players themselves hold themselves to a certain maturity level, which I think a lot of them did. I know you see stories, if you keep up with esports, about players even in their 20s who act out online or do really immature stuff, and they get dropped from their team because it's just uncalled for. And just like any other team, you have to represent your team accordingly. And I think each of them did very well. It's funny, I've been to many esports tournaments in Toronto, and I've seen players who have lost and they get up and start shouting obscenities. They start, throwing a fit, like just as they're leaving the stage and everything. One thing I noticed was that every team that got knocked out came into the audience and sat down and watched the other teams play. That was really mature for in my eyes, because it showed that they were a good sport about the whole thing, that they worked their ass off for 2 months. They trained with people they didn't even know, because I think it's really important to note that as the Canadian Challenge, they were only allowed to play with other Canadians. So a lot of these teams were made up, they were almost like Frankenstein teams where they had to pick up other Canadian players. So there was this little bit of camaraderie between every single team. None of them were salty about it. None of them said, toxic things online or anything like that. Everyone was really good about the whole event.
Esports is one of the things I really don't follow. Like, I think the only thing I really follow is like because there's some wrestlers I follow, and they have like this like feud over Street Fighter, and they go to these fighting game events, and it's like they show a really good showing, and I like that, and like Rocket League and everything else, I'm just like I'm not really into. So it's cool that like as esports grows, the genres and like all the amount of games that players can play is cool. Yeah, I like it. Rocket League is one of those games like like I think I remember when it launched on PS4, it was a PS Plus game. So like
Yep.
I have that game, so I've never really put in the time because it's one of those games I really like watching.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of times when I just watch the Kind of Funny guys play Rocket League, and I just laugh so much just seeing them play it. And for esports, it's cool. I like hearing about what's like they have like this kind of exhibition tournament kind of thing going on, and that's cool for people who are not professionals and they just want to get into the game.
Yeah.
I love Rocket League. It's the only online competitive game that I would even remotely touch, and I love it. But it's seeing people actually play it at that level is just a whole other thing. It's like watching Evo. And you're like,
Right.
yeah, I'm like pretty good at this game. And you like watch someone on Evo and you're like, I'm crap at this game. Wow. Like it's so good.
Yeah.
But I think we're seeing a lot more. Sorry.
No. Keep going.
I was going to say, I think we're seeing a lot more crossovers between real sports and esports. Like,
Mhm.
I've seen so many photos on Reddit of, let's say, soccer or football, soccer players on the field, and they've like somehow managed to hook up Fortnite or even FIFA to their huge monitors.
Oh,
Mhm.
that's awesome.
There was just one on Reddit the other day where it's like, oh, they installed these massive screens so they could watch replays of the games during practice,
Mhm.
so they can learn better and like right away. But then they had hooked up FIFA to it,
That's
so
awesome.
I think we're seeing more and more of this like crossover, and just as more people, the younger generation, come up who grew up with video games, we're going to just see more and more. I think honestly Fortnite will be the first one to blow us out the water, though. As much as like Overwatch is trying, it does not have the popularity of Fortnite.
Yeah, no, there's definitely a possibility. The only thing Fortnite lacks is structure. There's a lot
Yeah.
of variables in it. You see, there was Friday Fortnite, and now there's the Summer Skirmish, which invites like 100 people into a lobby and everything. The Summer Skirmish in particular is hosted by Epic, and even Epic can't keep up the servers to a point where players can play 100% competently because there's lag issues, there's frame rate issues, stuff like that. It's really hard to organize a 100-person quote unquote like esports tournament style. They've gotten better week over week.
Is that the one they did with like Marshmallow and the Ninja and all that? Or is that something else at E3?
That was something else, I believe. Summer
that would-
Skirmish is still on. It goes
Oh, I
week by
see.
week. Yeah.
Yeah, they had like a 100 people tournament at E3
Right.
with all these like celebs. I'd be so curious to know the numbers on that as well versus like Overwatch versus Evo.
It also has to do with who's watching it, right? Like if you're a Overwatch player or an Overwatch fan, I would be interested to see how many of those people enjoy like Fortnite or vice versa, and how many people like just watch everything.
I think esports is like I think it's it's pretty cool. It's neat seeing something that like video games become even more popular and widespread, and people are being recognized for because let's face it, there is skill involved in this.
Right.
I really don't have any interest in watching it like during the Overwatch League when there was a Canadian team that was in there. I'd watch some highlights and I'd kind of quietly cheer for them, but I didn't really actually pay much attention to it. I didn't even know it was on until I saw somebody that I follow on Twitter. commented on a couple teams, and I kind of watched a little bit on Twitch. But no, I mean, good for you if you're able to get into that level. But it's not for me.
Yeah, to each their own.
If my kids end up getting into it, then yeah, great. I'll support them and everything. But I don't even watch Sportsnet for normal sports. So
I am more partial to games done quick than esports.
Yeah.
But like, it's kind of the same thing. It's like seeing someone who's like at that level of just such a different level of what I play video games at. And it's fascinating. I mean, I wouldn't watch like a whole tournament, but if I watched, I'd watch like a final game of an esports tournament.
Yeah. I'm the same as you. I just like seeing someone play a game. I feel like I can play at, a competent level, but blow my skills out of the water, like Rocket League, for instance. However, I like watching the whole story. I like watching like a team go through the trials and tribulations up until like the finals and see them actually win. Like Croissant Boys, during the Canadian Challenge, it was unfortunate because for half the tournament they were playing on a B stage outside of the auditorium, so they never actually went up on the main stage until like the semifinals. So it was kind of a bummer not to be able to see them from the very start.
Hey, Blinken. Did you say Abe Lincoln? No, I ain't say Abe Lincoln. I said, hey, Blinken. Hold the reins, man.
All right, our second topic of the episode is Amazon is cutting their pre-order discounts following Best Buy shutting down their program as well. Dennis, why don't we hand this one over to you?
Yeah, so again, recently Amazon's cutting their pre-order discounts as well. I think they're cutting something out for Twitch as well. They're cutting out
ads.
Yeah, the ads. Yeah, that's right. And like when I first heard this, I was kind of angry. Yeah, I was at a point like I'm not renewing Amazon Prime because it's just like you're really cutting out just like if you're buying a $79.99 game, it's I think it's like an $8 discount, and because it's 10%, and I think it's 20% if you're American, which is I think it's $11.
It's like 11 or 12.
Yeah, something like that. And it's one of those things like Best Buy is already like cutting out their program. I mean, I literally printed out like my last reward certificate that I got for it. I think I'm planning to spend it on Spyro, or PSN money for Spyro.
Right.
Because I don't want to pay. I don't want to pay taxes.
Taxes.
Yeah. So yeah, when I first heard this, I was like, I'm angry. But the more I think about it, because like if you're buying a game for $79.99 and you're getting a discount for $8 at $71.99, and then you add tax, it's like $81, and what you're really not saving that much. If you're, from my side, if I want to pre-order digitally on PlayStation, which doesn't charge tax again. Yeah. So I'm just mentioning it. So yeah, like it's an interesting move for Amazon. It's definitely something I can see a lot more people unsubscribing to Amazon. I'm kind of like Amazon loyal because that's just the easiest place to get it. And like after this, I'm thinking I'm probably not gonna buy. Amazon's probably not gonna be the place I'm gonna buy games for now. I'm probably gonna find other places that give me better incentive for my money. So what does everybody else think about it?
I was just gonna say, I've only used it a couple times, and while the discount was really good and a good incentive, their shipping often lacked. So while I was getting a nice discount, I'm not going to say it was significant or anything, I was often waiting a day or two after release to actually get the game.
Yeah.
And as I continued to transition more and more into digital only, I can't even remember the last time I ordered or did like a pre-order discount on Amazon. So when I heard this, I was more concerned with the Twitch Prime ads getting taken away rather than like the pre-order discounts going away, because after Best Buy bowed out of doing the discounts, I didn't really see the point, or as Amazon, I didn't see the point of them keeping it because they have no incentive to. They have no competition at this point.
Yeah, I only ever used Prime, I think, or like for pre-ordering. I think it was only 2 games: Toad Treasure Tracker for the Switch and Skyrim, the HD re-release on Xbox One. Toad ended up showing up 3 days after release, and Skyrim, when I put the order in, it told me that it wouldn't show up for a couple days afterwards. So then I changed it to like the day of, so I'd get delivery the day of, which then charged me extra. And then I found out that I would have got that shipping for free anyways had I just left it alone. The game ended up not showing up at my house until like 9:30 at night. And I was like, yeah, it was just kind of one bad thing after another. I've taken to just going to GameStop and picking up games that or I'll pre-order a game through GameStop. I mean, there's one, it's 5 minutes from where I work. So I can just walk over on lunch, and I'm starting to get known at that GameStop as well. Like there's 2 that I'm starting to get recognized. So then, like for Octopath Traveler, I didn't even bother with Amazon.
Yeah.
And the GameStop downtown where I pre-ordered it, the guy even was able to get me a collector's edition.
Nice.
Oh wow, nice.
Even though, because I went in there, I was like, oh yeah, do you guys have any of the collector's editions? He's like, I think we're all sold out, but we'll see. Release date comes, I get a phone call. My wife tells me that he called and he's got a collector's edition for you. It's like, and then I found out it wasn't really worth it because. But so when I go to the store, I'm like, thanks, I'll just take a regular copy instead. But yeah, the two times I used it through Amazon, had just a really bad experience with it, so I'm not missing it.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna miss it at all.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just one of those things where it's like I go on and on. It's like, wow, Jeff, don't you have enough money already? Like, that the fact that they're cutting Twitch ad rolls as well. Like, to me, I don't have Prime, so all of this stuff is just even less incentive for me to go to Prime, because the video service didn't grab me, because the only thing I really wanted to watch was the Grand Tour.
Yeah.
And I'm not paying like $80 for the Grand Tour. Yeah. And then I don't really order stuff from Amazon that often. And when I do, because I'm in Toronto where there's a distribution center, I just spend, I think it's $35 or whatever it is for the free shipping. It says it's going to take a while, but it usually only takes 2 or 3 days. And there's nothing that I definitely need tomorrow, usually. So I don't know. Like, there was never enough incentive for me to join Amazon, and they're just taking more and more resources away from it. And it's just, it's confusing to me as to why. I mean, the game thing, I'm wondering if there was a push from somewhere else. Like, if the game publishers were pushing that. Because I've never worked in an EB or Best Buy, so I don't know what the manufacturer's cost is versus what they sell it for. I don't know what kind of margins they make on them. I know they make nothing on consoles.
Right.
They basically sell consoles at price, but I'm not sure about games.
I think they make $4 or $5.
So they're like losing money by selling games. Then it makes sense. But then I know that a lot of publishers are pushing digital downloads. So I'm wondering if there was pressure on the back end to give less incentives for the physical copies. Because,
I can see that.
Yeah.
Again, I don't know. I can only speculate. But I know, like, if you just look at how many bonuses, like pre-order bonuses you get for digital versus pre-ordering in person, like, they're usually quite different. Like, I don't know if you got the extra chef's bundle for pre-ordering Overcooked. Unless you did it digital. I don't even know if it has a physical copy, to be honest. But
no.
When I pre-ordered Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze for Switch, I got an awesome bandana.
No way.
Wow.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Wow.
Which I gave to
Why aren't
my
you
kids, and I gave it to my kids, and they use it on their dolls. And then when I went to go pick up, I think it was Mega Man, they gave me another one.
Ooh.
because they had a box full of them by the counter.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's an awesome
So-
pre-order bonus.
I am tempted to pre-order Valkyrie Chronicles 4 for the stupid Ragnarok hack. I say stupid, but I love it because it's adorable. But like it's very interesting how digital downloads are kind of becoming the way. And I know we talked about it a little bit before we started recording, but at least on PC, a lot of games on Steam, when they launch, they have a digital discount anyways.
Right.
And it's like it's usually 10 to 15% discount.
Mhm.
It'll be interesting to see if that continues elsewhere, whether it's PlayStation or Xbox or.
They would be smart to. As more people, obviously are going towards digital, it only makes sense that they would push for that, because then even though they're putting out a discount, they're getting everything out of it. Instead of factoring in what GameStop's cut is, what the manufacturing cost of like printing a disc is, they're getting 100% minus whatever the 10% discount is.
Well, on Steam, Valve takes a third, so I'm going to assume the PlayStation and Xbox takes a cut of the digital as well.
That's fair.
But it would be more.
Still,
It would be more.
Yeah.
I'm assuming. I don't get the back end numbers to anything, but
Yeah. Well, it'll be interesting to see. Maybe we'll see something, I don't know, next year at E3 or Gamescom or something where they'll, Sony or Microsoft will announce some sort of pre-order discount. I mean, look at what they're doing with, like Microsoft's doing with Game Pass and everything. So it would only make sense for them to kind of pick that up. And
I don't know if that's a PlayStation thing or if that's on the client side.
Sure.
I think it's usually up to. I've never developed a game or published a game, so I don't know how it works.
Yeah.
But I'm assuming if they've got the ability to do like summer sales or whatever it may be, they probably have the ability to just like at discount set a price that's discounted and then set it to full price after 2 weeks. I'd assume that's already in there because you can do sales and discounts on PlayStation anyways.
Oh, really?
I assume so. I'm sure games go off at 10, 20% or 50% off on PlayStation Store.
Yeah, it does. I mean, I look at them every time, like, because, I mean, like during E3, that's when I got into Yakuza, and that, like, it was originally $79.99, and I think I got it for $29.99.
Well, why don't we move on to our next topic?
Sure.
Let's go.
Sounds good.
I say, would you mind awfully getting out of the way?
I say, not until you pay the toll.
All right, so if you are not aware, Gamescom was just last week. It is actually one of the bigger game conventions.
It's the biggest.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the biggest. Like it's bigger than E3, and a lot of companies will actually will reveal more and bigger stuff at Gamescom than they will at E3. So Microsoft had a pretty big showing, I would say, this year at Gamescom. They showed off. There's some more info about Verizon. Forza. Yeah, Forza Horizon 4's team multiplayer action, where you've got a new competitive multiplayer mode that allows you to team up and take on different races around the game world.
PUBG is getting an official release.
Yay! Everyone's favorite game.
Yeah, PUBG is finally coming out of pretty much beta hell.
Early access.
Pretty much in a beta. Yeah, early access is what they're calling it now. So it's coming September 4th is when the full product or the 1.0 version gets released. It's probably still going to be a buggy mess.
But achievements.
Ooh, achievements.
Those
Yay.
Chivos.
Those Chivos.
Hashtag
Yeah.
worth it.
So if you're big into PUBG, if you were holding off until final release, September 4th is when you are going to get that. One that I'm I'd probably be a little more excited for if I hadn't already beat all 4 Halo games, but the Master Chief Collection is coming to Xbox Game Pass in September. Honestly, I'm surprised that this was not a game that was there when Game Pass was announced.
Well,
It's freaking Halo.
They want their monies first.
they had to fix it.
Still.
No, they had to fix it because of the matchmaking, and they wanted to up-res everything to 4K. 60 frames
Yeah.
per second.
That's still like
It's probably one of the games they thought they could actually sell first. Like sell as many copies because Halo's like the flagship for Xbox. And then after that, then they'll roll it out to Game Pass.
At the point of Game Pass coming out, the Master Chief Collection had pretty bad rapport going for a lot of people because it came out, it was a buggy mess. It was I think it was too much for 343 at the time to kind of handle, and they were trying to do like a lot of goodwill with a lot of updates. I mean, hell, it's almost reaching like 100 gigabytes at this point because of all the updates.
Yeah, it was something like 80 gigs. We were talking about file size a while back, and it's getting close to like 80 gigs, I think.
They included ODST in there that wasn't included. That was awesome. Yeah, that wasn't included in the original release. So that was pretty cool. But I am really glad to see that, it's finally getting Game Pass with the 4K release at the same time. Because I know a lot of you have to be part of the Insider program to try and play around with it. It's getting like I said, the better matchmaking now.
Yeah, see, I didn't really play it online, so I never really encountered any of those bugs.
It was really rough the first couple months. I remember it came out at a time. I think it was with Assassin's Creed Unity as well.
Yeah, that sounds right.
And that whole fall, I was like, what's going on with games right now? Like nothing's working. But it did get better little by little. And I mean, we were talking about this a couple weeks ago, man. We were in Master Chief Collection, and I don't see a problem with it as it is right now. So I'm excited for another big update.
Yeah. I mean, Halo 2 already with that update already looked awesome. So I'm actually excited to see it in 4K. I'm wondering if ODST is going to get the upscale as well, or if that's just going to kind of stay as it is.
I think it's just for the main 4.
Oh, okay.
I could be wrong though.
I was really hoping that they'd add Reach to it as well.
Yeah,
which would have been awesome.
I was waiting during that announcement that they're like, and will you put in Reach?
But that would have been great. But
that would have been a reach.
Hey, there he is.
There it is. It's my one joke of the episode.
So, and with the Master Chief Collection, we also get the most useful and best app ever. It's the Game Pass app.
Sarcasm.
The only purpose of this app is to be able to view the software available through Game Pass and install it on your Xbox.
It's pretty cool.
That's it. Yeah. And like even when that app was finally available, there were half the people couldn't sign into it.
Oh,
I don't
really?
even think I can still sign into it. Yeah.
Oh, I got in
like
right
for
away.
2 days I tried. Oh, did you?
I got in like right away.
Oh, yeah. I can tap the sign in button all I want and it doesn't do anything. Even if I try and go like other ways it's like to install it, and it's like, oh, you can get it 2 months free or sign in, like trying to go in like a back way to sign into the app. I can't get into it, and I've cleared that. Yeah. There was actually a thread on the Xbox One subreddit about that app and asking who was able to get in and who couldn't, what type of phone it was.
Yep.
It seemed like a number of the Pixel, if you had a Pixel phone, people were having trouble with. So
I'm on Apple, so I don't know if that has to do with it.
We won't hold that against you, though.
Thanks. Appreciate it.
So, but yeah, it's like, honestly, I don't know why that can be rolled into the Xbox app.
Yeah, we were talking about that when the announcement was made. I never really gave it a second thought until you said it. I was like, huh, yeah, why don't they just put it in?
It's like they've got an option for the store.
Yeah.
Make it a slider so you can pick gamepad. Like it, yeah. It's honestly, it's a waste of development time, I think, on that one. But let's move on.
I don't know if there's like two different like authentications that it needs to do, or if it treats those two things separately, like it's two different accounts in the back end. Like, I don't know. It'd be interesting to talk to.
I mean, I just had to sign in to my Microsoft account. That's
yeah. You would just sign into your Microsoft account. Yeah, exactly. It should be it's just Game Pass is is an option that's on your account, so you should just be able to use your Microsoft account. So
Yeah, it should just read that you have a subscription, and then away you go.
yeah, let's see. Can I get in yet? Nope.
Yeah.
Still can't get in.
Bummer.
Awesome. It's so useful. Moving on. Ori and the Will of the Wisp reveals new gameplay. So that game, this game looks really interesting.
Looks good.
So with a focus on the new Spirit Trials feature, it's got some pretty fast-paced race sequences that are kind of spread throughout the game, and so players are. So what that does is it allows players to compete, I think they say asynchronously, with other members in the community for in-game rewards.
It's like speedrunning.
And you get a placement on they call it the Spirit Trials leaderboard. So
Always wanted to be on one of those.
Yeah. So that'll that's pretty cool. And if you were at Gamescom, you did get a chance to check out the whole Ori world and everything. Give that a try. That game hits Xbox One and Windows 10 in 2019. So I'm sure we'll see more about this throughout the rest of the year and next year and everything.
I still haven't played the first one.
You have to.
Me neither.
I still haven't played it either.
You guys are killing me here.
Sorry. I'm still waiting for my all controller, so I'll play it then.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll be getting the all controller next year with the superior asymmetrical analog stick.
Preach, brother.
Well, you have a right to be wrong.
All right, we've also got Undead Labs keeps the zombies coming with State of Decay 2's Daybreak Pack. So that is coming out. So that'll be available on September 12th on Xbox One and Windows 10. And it's also included with Game Pass. So if you have Game Pass, definitely pick that up. So the Daybreak Pack, pretty much it'll give you more multiplayer action. And there's an all-new Siege Defense mode as well. You get to fight zombies, complete missions, and earn rewards as red spawning Red Talon soldiers. When you get to play with up to 3 friends on that one. So that's coming in mid-September. Sea of Thieves gets a big expansion. It gets an expansion. Man, Rare has been all over Sea of Thieves. Like they've been
all hands on deck.
Hey-o.
Yes. Thank you.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
That's my joke for the podcast.
So there's the new Forsaken Shores, which is the 3rd major content update for Sea of Thieves. So that is launching on September 19th. And again, if you've got Game Pass, you get that as well. So the Forsaken Shores, it's going to take you to the Devil's Roar, where you get to, there's all new environmental things, volcano, geysers, earthquakes. So not only are you going to be fighting against other bots or whatever, but the world is going to try and kill you as well, which is going to be pretty cool.
Sounds fun.
It sounds very like Moana.
Yeah. Yes. When I heard about the volcano, that's what I thought too. So if it looks as gorgeous as the rest of the game,
oh sure,
it's going to be good.
Those water physics translate into lava physics. Oh,
hopefully, yeah. They'll just turn it from blue to red.
Yeah,
there you go.
Just grab the shader. I think that's how it works in games, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. We need to get together and play. All of us should play some Sea of Thieves at some point.
Yeah.
How?
All of us, right?
Right.
Well,
Dennis, just buy an Xbox, buy Games Pass. Yeah. Jeez.
Jeez, come on.
No. Unless Santa gives me that's the only time I'll ever have an Xbox.
All right, I'll talk to the big guy.
Yeah.
Sure.
Steve has the connection.
I do, we're tight.
Yeah.
Can you get him to get me a PSVR while you're at it?
We'll see.
Same here.
No, Dennis, I'm getting you an Xbox.
Because I don't think Josh releases his, so just see if he'll send it to you.
Oh yeah, you get the tummy aches.
I don't really want secondhand headset though.
Nah.
Just take a Lysol wipe to it and wipe it down, and you'll be fine.
Spray some Febreze on it. You're good to go.
Exactly. Yeah. Some new Xbox One bundles were also, and accessories also got announced. There are 8 bundles, 3 new controller designs. There is the first of the Xbox One X Special Edition, so it's not including the Scorpio Edition because that's technically a special edition. It's the Gold Rush Edition Battlefield 5 bundle. There's also Player Unknown Battlegrounds Limited Edition Xbox One controller. And a couple new color schemes for the design labs. There is a new camo and shadow options, which the shadow options I think always look kind of cool.
Yeah.
That fade. So that looks pretty cool.
Just to go back 1 second, I didn't know that how much I wanted the abrasive material like on a trigger until I saw it on the PUBG one. Have you seen that?
Oh yeah.
Matt? They have like the.
I think I saw a couple pictures of it. Yeah.
I was like, wow, that just makes a lot of sense.
And your fingers don't slip.
Yeah.
Yep.
They got more Fallout 76.
Yeah, Fallout 76 got some more info.
Devil May Cry 5, and everyone like cried because like man, people were stoked about that.
Oh, I know I was. When I heard
good.
Yeah. Because I remember when it was shown at E3 that boss recording I had of our reactions, and I remember being like so excited because I remember when this was shown there was like it's gonna be coming spring 2019. It's coming way before spring, like a couple weeks before spring, and that's a good time to get out of February, especially the 22nd. Don't even think of going there. Yeah, I like it. I looked at some of the gameplay. It looks fantastic.
Yeah, I was saying it's definitely not a game, in my wheelhouse or even on my radar, but that game looks gorgeous.
Yep.
Hunt Showdown. It's developed by Crytek. It's basically like a PvP hunt and survival game. For all intents and purposes, this game looks great. I don't know too much more about it. There was like a quick little trailer there. It's got like this Western setting where you have like the old revolvers and stuff like that. You go out, find treasure. As soon as you find the treasure, I believe like a monster or something comes after you, and you have to avoid it, bring it back to like a location, survive while bringing the treasure back. It looks pretty cool. It's one of those like kind of like Evolve, or to a lesser extent Left 4 Dead, something like that, where it's like PvP versus like one enemy.
Can we talk about non-Xbox stuff for Gamescom?
Sure. What do you got, Steph?
Can we talk about the Overwatch Diva short?
Oh, that was so awesome.
It was so good.
That was so cool. Man,
I like literally have not. Wait, no, this is a lie. I have played Overwatch once, and it was at the Microsoft Store. That's the only time I've ever played. I have zero interest in that game, just not for me. However, shorts, watch every day until the day I die. I love them.
They are awesome. I think Steve, you said that they were like Pixar quality.
Better,
is what their shorts are. Yeah, there's actually I saw somebody on YouTube took all the shorts together and put it into one video. It's
nice.
like over an hour long.
Yeah.
But like other things that came out, Shenmue 3, which was never a series that I played, but
yeah.
Maybe I will now.
There was Sekiro Shadows Die Twice gameplay shown. That game looks incredible.
Battlefield 5 stuff happened.
Yeah, we got a little tease of Battle Royale at the end of the trailer.
Mm-hmm.
I think the betas are happening
soon.
Sooner.
Yeah, I think in September. One that kind of surprised me was the announcement that Supermassive Games was going multi-platform.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah. So for the first time, they're going to bring like an anthology series to both PlayStation, PC, I guess, and Xbox as well.
Was that the Until Dawn, folks?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, people were pretty stoked for that.
Yeah,
It's still two spooks for me. So
two spooks.
We also got the news of the new GeForce NVIDIA graphics card or whatever, which is yay, more things I can't afford, but more things for Bitcoin mining.
I was just gonna say all the crypto miners or cryptocurrency miners are gonna buy them all up. So
We also got
Yeah.
the new Life is Strange too.
Oh my god, that looks so good. I'm so excited.
Yeah, there was like some pretty big stuff coming out of the Gamescom.
Yeah, yeah. Gamescom is like it's a very recently it's been a very Xbox heavy kind of event, and that's good because like it used to be a PlayStation thing, but now that they have PSX, they really don't have anything to show or want to show anyway. So this is probably like a really good time for Xbox to put all this out. It's nice.
All right. Up next is Dennis's favorite section. This one looks to be pretty big.
Yeah.
Strapping.
Strapping
Yeah.
is.
We've got the wall
we're going
of
for a
games
ride.
trying to avoid September launches.
Yeah.
Yeah. Holy crap.
Yeah. So up next is the video game releases.
Sire, I have news.
And what sort of news do you have? Not bad news, is it? You know I can't take bad news.
So yeah, I like to call this week the let's get everything out before the fall week.
Right.
So these are the games coming out between August 27th and the 31st. So let's jump.
Incredible amount of games
Yeah,
coming out
I know.
in 1 week.
I know. I think I counted it, and it was like 66, maybe 67.
Well, I mean, you beat that in Steam per day, so come on.
Yeah.
Come on, Dennis.
Let's jump in. Starting on August 28th, Blade Strangers is coming to PC, PS4, and Nintendo Switch. Donut County is coming to PC, PS4, and iOS.
I'm actually pretty excited for that one. It looks funny.
Switchblade is coming to PC and PS4. Warhammer Vermintide 2 Shadow over Bogenhafen DLC coming to PC and Xbox One. After that, speaking of Rocket League, Rocket League Ultimate Edition is coming out on PS4, Xbox One, and Nintendo Switch.
Cool.
Does that just give you a bunch of loot boxes for free, or?
I think it's like because there was a Rocket League Collector Edition, so this includes that, and I think some.
Oh,
other
it's
stuff.
a bunch of DLC.
Yeah. Ferns Gate is coming to PS4 and PS Vita. Torn is coming to PSVR, Oculus Rift, HTC Vive, and Steam VR. These are PC-only games, so Molecat and Fear the Wolves via Steam Early Access are coming. Coming to PC, PS4, Xbox One are Strange Brigade, Pro Evolution Soccer 2019, Middle-earth Shadow of War Definitive Edition, Golf Club 2019 featuring PGA Tour, and Far Cry 5 Living Zombies DLC. Coming to PS4 and Xbox One is
Yep.
I thought there was an extra I in there. Shikondo, Soul Eater, and Bad North. Coming to PSVR only is Firewall 0 Hour and Bow to Blood. Coming to PS4 only, a lot of things. Starting with Call of Duty World War II Shadow of War DLC, which is a 30-day exclusive PS4. Johnny Turbo's Arcade Gate of Doom, Downward Spiral Horror Station, Sunless Sea, Submariner Edition, Catch and Release, Viking Days, Splash, Blast Panic, Puddle Bucks, Battle Chef Brigade Deluxe, Fire...
What? Sorry, I love Battle Chef.
Okay. Continuing on, Fire Pro Wrestling World, featuring the roster from New Japan Pro Wrestling, and finally, Yakuza Kiwami 2, aka the game of the month for me.
There can only be one dragon.
Yep, only one.
I've now officially become a Yakuza shill.
It's good. That's one down, 3 to go, and then we're all good.
Guys, there's just not enough time, or else I'd be all over it.
Okay. Now on to the Nintendo Switch only games. Monster Hunter Generation Ultimate, The Blob 2, Victor Vran Overkill Edition, Telltale's The Walking Dead Season 1, and Telltale's The Walking Dead The Final Season, Episode 1.
Just in case you want to get the front end and the back end. Don't worry about the middle there.
Yeah. I mean,
this is weird.
Yeah. I mean, you get the good season.
You do get the good season.
Yeah.
And we'll see about the last season, but it's kind of weird that they just wouldn't have like a Telltale Walking Dead collection.
How many seasons were there?
This is the fourth.
There's 4
total. Oh, so it does 1 and 4?
Yeah. I mean, it's the first episode because like the 4th season is just premiered, and yeah. So, okay, those are all the games for one day. So on to August 29th. DayZ is coming to Xbox One via Xbox Game Preview.
Yippee.
Okay.
I don't know if that's a genuine excitement yippee or just like a...
It's more of a curiosity yippee.
Okay.
To see who this is for.
Western 1849 Reloaded is coming to Nintendo Switch. Twin Robots Ultimate Edition is coming to Xbox One. Coming to PC, Steam Early Access only, is Green Hell and Scum. The Messenger is coming to PC and Nintendo Switch. Haunted Dungeons Hiyaki Castle is coming to PS4 and Nintendo Switch. Oh wait, I gotta mention the Messenger Haunted Dungeon is coming. Those are coming August 30th. Yeah, I forgot to mention. Also coming August 30th is Penguin Wars is coming to PS4. Sword Art Online Fatal Bullet Collapse of Balance DLC is coming to PC, PS4, and Xbox One. Coming August 30th for PC only. 2 Point Hospital.
Shit, that's coming out?
Yeah.
Oh no. Oh no. Okay, now I have to buy it. Hold on. Literally doing it. See if I can pre-order it right now.
Okay. Hero of the Kingdom 3 and Ultimate Fishing Simulator. Coming to Nintendo Switch only on August 30th. Freedom Planet. Toho Azeri Reflections. Mini Metro. Real Politics. The Video Kid. Pickup.
Pick-a-picks?
Pick-a-pick.
Pick-a-picks Deluxe.
Let me just say
Giant Puzzles 3.
Pick-a-Picks Deluxe Giant Puzzles 3. Shikuhondo Soul Eater. Instant Tennis. Fall of Light Darkest Edition. And Cheeky Boxing Racers. I don't... I
Is
just...
that a real game?
I don't know,
or did
man.
you just feel like saying that?
I'm not making these up, man.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Finally, we're on to the last day, August 31st. Starting off, The Video Kid is coming to PC and Xbox One. After that, coming to Nintendo Switch is Dust and Elysium's Tale. Coming PC only is Rigid Force Alpha and Dead Frontier 2 coming via Steam Early Access. Coming to PS4 only, Playbook and Think of the Children.
Won't somebody think of children?
Think of the children.
Exactly. Oh my god.
Yeah, it's a parent simulator.
Oh, is it
It's
like that other one where there was like someone played the baby and someone played the dad and the baby had to try to kill themselves?
For Charge 4 to 3.
I remember
Oh
that
my
kind
god.
of stuff, yeah.
This game looks hilarious.
Yeah.
Frantic parenting simulator.
Yep.
Wait, was that somebody just abducting a child in a van? Oh no, that's CPS taking a kid away.
So this is like a less terrible version of that other game, basically.
Maybe.
More or less, yeah.
Oh my god. Wow.
Yeah.
That game looks hilarious.
Yeah, it does. It was like one of the games I actually looked at the trailer like, oh my god, this is either the stupidest idea or the most brilliant idea I've ever seen.
I think it's the most brilliant.
Yeah.
This looks great.
Coming to PS4 and Xbox One is Divinity Original Sin 2. And
Can I just sell you on Divinity Original Sin 2 for a second?
Please
Okay.
do, Steph.
All right.
Yes.
Divinity Original Sin 2 is like a callback to RPGs when the writing was actually good. So like if you like the original Fallout, the original like first Fallout, this is definitely something that you should look into. And in Divinity Original Sin 2, you can play as like this race, which is basically a skeleton, like they're undead.
Okay.
But if you like walk around as per usual, people get scared of you. So you can like kill people, rip off their face, and then like put it on your face, and then you can walk around without
lovely.
scaring people.
Oh, lovely.
That's the kind of level of like RPG that you can do. And then like you can literally kill anybody, including quest givers. So there's like 4 or 5 different ways that you can actually find a quest. It's great.
Interesting.
It's like if you want the ultimate RPG, like ultimate RPG game, Divinity is like, it's amazing. It's so good. And the writing's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so good.
Cool.
Okay, so after that sales pitch,
I like how like the one game I give the big sales pitch is like one I don't work for.
yeah. And the other game that's coming to PS4 and Xbox One is NBA 2K19, The Prelude.
What?
Yeah, it's I think it's
Is that
like
the demo?
Yeah, I think it's a demo.
Yeah.
Because I think it's like the first chapter of the story mode for this sports game.
Mm-hmm.
Where are we at in gaming right now?
I don't know.
September or August 31st, apparently.
Yeah. Okay. And finally, coming to PC, PS4, and Xbox One, Shadows Awakening is coming, as well as Naruto to Boruto Shinobi Striker. And that is it for the video game releases of the week, which might have been high 60s.
Let's just say that.
Jeez.
High 60s.
Yeah.
Wow.
I just hope that like the video game releases for next week was just Dragon Quest and Spider-Man, and that's it.
I'll just keep it to those two.
Yeah,
People care about.
No other games are coming out.
Yeah.
I wish, but there probably is.
Well, thanks, Dennis.
Oh, no problem.
I feel like I need a smoke and a nap now.
So it was that good?
It was. Yeah.
I've come to warn you that if you do not stop levying these evil taxes, I shall lead the good people of England in a revolt against you.
And why should the people listen to you?
Because, unlike some other Robin Hoods, I can speak with an English accent.
Well, I would say that about wraps it up for this episode of Canadian Geekcast. Guys, if people wanted to connect with you online, where could they do so? Steph?
You can find me on basically anything as @MapleThistles, but I am most active on Twitter. So come see what games I'm playing. It's basically what it's become now.
Nice. Steve?
Just find me on Twitter @svigvari, where I'm sure in a week's time I'll be gushing over Spider-Man.
You're not the only one.
No,
I think there's 2 or 3 of you guys that are excited for it.
At least 2.
at least.
At least, yeah. Dennis?
You can find me mostly on Twitter @HunterSlasher13. Where I'll probably just be talking about Yakuza and how I don't really want September to come, but I want it to come for Spider-Man only.
Poor soul. Wait till you get a job.
You sound like my dad.
Months. You don't have these months of vacation off every year.
Oh, it was nice. I kind of want to click the reset button. Let's go back to May.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Do it all over
Very
again.
jealous.
Yeah.
You sure you want to do E3 all over again?
Oof.
Then then I could make all the right predictions then.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Yeah. You can find me on Twitter @ReggieFeezameme. Pretty much Twitter's, I think. Yeah, Twitter's pretty much the best place to get a hold of me. You can also find us as a group through our group Twitter, which is Canadian Geek CST, or on our website, which is canadiangeekcst.wixsite.com/home, where you can find links to all of our previous episodes as well as our bios. So again, just remember to chime in on Twitter, kind of what your thoughts are on like most influential film. Let us know your thoughts, and we'll pick a random winner from there to get a game prize from our massive list, which Is it finally stopped growing, or is it continuing to grow?
Oh, I just haven't updated it. It needs a huge update. I think there's about 3-4 months worth of Humble bundles that need to go on it.
Oh my god!
Should really just unsubscribe from that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're never gonna run out.
No, I'm never gonna run out of games to play.
Yes, that's true.
My Steam library, hold on. My Steam library has grown to 476.
Wow.
There's a website that you can actually punch in your
Yep.
I think you punch in your Steam account and it tells you how long it would take you to finish your library.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I started playing I've actually started to bang off some games recently. It's been good.
So be sure to tune in next week where we're going to discuss even more things geeky. No, I won't say it because Dennis is. I'll be nice to Dennis for this one. Pineapple.
I would just say again, you have the right to be wrong.
All right, fine. Well, pineapple's the worst topping on pizza in history.
Got him.
Wrong.
Yeah.
Roasted, Dennis.
Yeah, roasted.
The only thing that's getting roasted is me putting the pizza in the stove with that juicy pineapple.
Why would you roast your pizza?
I don't know.
You bake
That would
it.
ruin it.
Cook it.
Just let me have my thing, okay? Why do you have to be so specific on my details? Just let me eat, man.
On the next Canadian Geekcast.